In this video, we will cover an Outlook add-in called FindTime, which is a meeting time polling add-in, which is a great tool to use to coordinate times between a group or another individual to find out what time it works for everyone to schedule a call or a meeting. So rather than emailing back and forth and providing times that way, one person can you can actually send out pick up to 5 times on any particular day or days and essentially send it out to any recipients, and they can simply vote on the times that they are available, prefer, or would like to actually have the meeting. So let's take a look at this in Outlook. So within Outlook itself, up at the top ribbon, once you open up Outlook, you'll see a Store Add-ins icon. Click on that. And this is a Microsoft add-in, so it's already available, and it's called FindTime. So just go ahead and click to choose on, and then you can close this out. And what you will have to do is actually close out of Outlook in order for the add-in to be added in. So once you start it back up, FindTime will always load up with Outlook. And then we will take a look here, and it will always be available in the top ribbon. So we will take a look here as soon as this loads, and you can see here in the top ribbon now you see this Find Time section right here. So you can see the reply with meeting poll. So there's 2 ways to actually send out a meeting poll. One way is to look at an existing email. So I've got an email here with the recipient on it, or sender. And I can go ahead and click this reply with meeting poll. So to reply to an existing, if someone says, hey, I'd like to set up a meeting with you, what time works? You can actually just simply choose reply with meeting poll. And what it'll do is brings up the add-in over here on the right hand side. So you can choose your duration of your meeting, so whatever you think it'll be. So we're going to say an hour. We can choose within work hours or not. And what you see here are a couple things. Right here is the date selection, so you can choose if we're going to meet on the 11th, and then what FindTime does is it looks at any of the recipients on this email, so there's only 2 of us, and it actually looks at the schedules to see if there's any issues. So what it'll show you at the top is the ones that are available on this day. So you can see by the little person icons here, you can actually hover over and you can see it's me, and it says I'm free and I am required. And then it shows the other recipient, and it says the availability is unknown. So you might see that a lot for people outside of the company, or if there's something with their calendar that actually does not specify if they're busy or not. The other stuff down here at the bottom indicates that I am busy during these times. So these are times that would not be good. So it actually separates those out. You can certainly override and pick these if you need to. But what it tries to do is actually tell you what times you are available or what times work best for the group. So the more you want on all green here, if at all possible. So what I can do now is I can choose several times. I can choose up to 5. And I'm going to go ahead and select these and send this over. So if I hit next, now because as a company we have Skype for Business, there is an integration between FindTime and Skype and Outlook because they're all Microsoft products. So because I have, I can create a Skype for Business meeting. I can actually uncheck that if I want to, and I can just say this is just a simple call to that individual. If I want to actually include a Skype meeting, I can check this so it's actually blue. What this will do is, as the meeting organizer, the invite, once the poll goes out and the time is selected, I can choose a button then to schedule. Once I do that, it will automatically schedule with my Skype for Business information. So it just cuts out one extra step. Under meeting settings, you don't need to change anything here, but what this does is this notifies all parties, as far as kind of what time's has been selected. And then the auto schedule is something that, again, part of the Skype for Business thing is once I get the results, I can actually see what the chosen times were, and I can simply hit schedule and it will auto schedule that stuff out in Outlook, just like a normal meeting. So what I can do then is these are the selected times. I have this information set up here that I want. I can hit insert into email. And what it'll do is it'll go ahead and, as a reply to the existing email, it'll add this little window here. So what this does is it identifies myself as the organizer, time of the meeting, location. It'll say, you know, whatever you typed in, and then it'll allow them to select options, and I can send this out. So what we'll do now is take a look at what this actually looks like on the recipient end. Before we do that, a second method to actually create a new meeting poll is to actually send out a brand new email message. So I can send this out to, again, one or multiple people. And what it'll do is, if I create a new message, we're going to go ahead and do that right here. I can add in my recipients here. And once I do that, I can actually hit New Meeting Poll. So rather than reply with a meeting poll, this is a brand new message, so I'm sending out a new meeting poll. So again, the interface is exactly the same. Choose my time or duration for the meeting, just to kind of get a general idea of how much time this meeting is going to take. And again, I can choose a time, and it'll show what times work and what times do not because of conflicts. So I'm going to go ahead and again choose a couple times here and hit next. I'm going to say online meeting. I'm going to go ahead and insert the email. So in addition to this, I can go ahead and apologies for the typing. You can go ahead and type any additional items to the message that you'd like to. Send a subject. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and send this out. So you can type in a longer message there, but this is the key part that needs to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and send this out. And what we're going to look at now is what this looks like on the customer stand, on the recipient side. So this is what it looks like when received under a Gmail account. Now it can be received by anyone. It doesn't need to be someone that's actually in another in a Microsoft environment or anything like that. But this is what it looks like. So as a recipient, I can go ahead and hit select options. And it's going to ask me who am I. So I'm going to identify myself as a recipient. I am the cbbq.it. And this is the interface that I see. So it tells me a little bit of information here. It tells me who's required on the actual meeting invite, which is specified by the meeting creator. And then it tells me who the organizer is, the attendees required, all that kind of stuff. And also the times in the different time zones. So you can send this to people that are in other time zones. And what it shows is the date and then the different times that as the meeting organizer I selected. And it shows how others have voted. So what I can do is I can say this does not work, this does not work, this does, but I prefer 9:30. And that's all I have to do. So I can go ahead and hit submit, and I can hit no. I mean, as a recipient, I can hit whatever works. You know, if all of them work, I can hit yes. Ideally, you know, hopefully people specify, they can hit yes, but they specify a preferred time, or they can hit no if none of them work. So we'll go ahead and hit submit, and that's really all that needs to be done at this point. So what we'll do is go ahead and open this back up, and as the creator, this is what I receive. So as a meeting creator, I see an attendee has voted. This person voted. I'm going to go ahead and show the pictures here. And it shows 9:30 is preferred time. These are the accepted voted times, and which ones do not work. This is the preferred time. So what I can do as a meeting organizer, I can go ahead and just hit schedule on any of these times that I actually want to. So since it's preferred time, I'm going to hit schedule. And what happens is I get a couple notifications. It just says meeting has been finalized. once I actually get all the voting done, I get this message that says all the voting has been completed. And what I can do now is after I hit schedule, I can take a look at my calendar. And what I see here is the meeting that was just voted on and I just scheduled. So it has the recipients on the meeting, has the subject, has the time that we picked, and then it automatically added in my Skype info. And it includes the original message that was sent to them so they can even see what was actually voted on. So we essentially have just, rather than sending emails back and forth, we've allowed a simple voting mechanism for 1 to as many as, I believe it's 25 recipients on a single meeting, and got a consensus on meeting times, and it was pretty straightforward.